Cześć, witajcie ponownie. Witajcie ponownie. Jesteśmy po raz... Jakieś tutaj mamy... Nie. O. Okay, hello. Welcome once again on our webinarium. I'm sorry I start in some very strange language, but we are back. Here we are once again, Tomek and Maciek. We represent the company AC and the product of the main product of the company, the brand STAG. As you remember, last time with Marcin we told you some basic about our controllers, our function options that you can find in our controllers, controllers for the sequential injection, indirect injection. We talked about STAG 200 Go Fast and Q generation. Today we would like to present some features, some possibilities of adjusting our system. Right now you know almost everything about the functions and options that you have in our controller. Today with Maciek we would like to teach you or present some aspects about adjusting. We would like to start from the beginning with the simple part of the whole adjustment, using depend of the configuration, depend of the controller. We can use only our software that exists in the Q generation and the STAG 200 Go Fast, or we can use external scanner, depend of the connection and depend of the car. So Maciek, maybe we can start from our basic economy controller, STAG 200 Go Fast. It is very popular controller, not only in Poland but in whole the world. And we would like to start from the beginning. From the beginning, I mean from the auto calibration. So when you install all the system, when you install the mechanical part, reducers, injectors, and the fuel tank and everything, gas tank in this situation, you need to start auto calibration. Of course, the first thing is to set the proper options. So maybe I can change. Yes, let's change language to English. So let's say we have the installation done. We have all the parameters in our software. The first thing that we need to do is to start auto calibration, right?
Yes. We can start the process of auto calibration while the engine is hot enough, so at least 70 degrees or higher, and we do the process on idle speed. So you can see that right now the engine is on idle speed, and all of the systems inside the car, by systems I mean heating system, air conditioning, is off because we want to have the lowest load of the engine as possible. So we proceed with the auto calibration and press start.
Yes. Okay, now the system is starting the auto calibration. During the auto calibration, we can just look at some options that we have here in the auto calibration window. We have the option about the all injectors together. That means if you have the engine that is working with the full group, when there is no sequential injection, the whole injectors are injecting in the same time, then you have to use the option all injectors together, right? Start with current multiplier means that sometimes when system cannot pass the auto calibration, she's trying to change some multiplier around 1. This is the starting point, around 1, but cannot pass the auto calibration. Then sometimes you need to move multiplier a little bit higher, for example 1.5, and start from 1.5. It's easier for the controller, and we can short time of auto calibration. Then you need to check the option start with current multiplier. Erase collect petrol map means erase collect petrol map. Yes, if the controller has in memory petrol map, the injection of the petrol, you can mark the erase collect petrol map, so system will start from the beginning. Yes, we do not have information about the petrol. We can gather information a little bit later. Multiplier auto match. You can change the value here from 3 to 2 to 1 to 5 to 6, depends of how long, how many steps system will do after correcting the petrol map and the gas map. Operational pressure is the pressure of during the auto calibration. Gas temperature 30 degrees or higher, lower after auto calibration. And after calibration, when the system passes the calibration, system can also tell you about the nozzles. If the nozzles are too big, too small, or accurate diameter.
Yes, actually, we have to do auto calibration again because our process was interrupted because of the adjustment on the simulator. So we will do this quickly once again.
Yes, you need to remember that the STAG 200 Go Fast is the basic controller. It doesn't have connection to OBD, onboard diagnostic system. So actually, when you are using only our software for the STAG 200 Go Fast, STAG 200 Easy, when we are talking about the software, you need to use some options that existed in software.
Exactly.
We want to show you how you can use that options, right?
Yes.
Just we need to wait to finish the auto calibration.
There is also information about the nozzle size.
Yes.
The controller will calculate and give you an information about the nozzle size, and here you see that the nozzle size is okay.
Okay. And if before you close, Maciek, the window, just look at the parameter system. Put the pressure, working pressure during the auto calibration, and the value of the gas temperature during the auto calibration. It is important to check if the value in this window are the same like in the window on the left side, because when there are no the values are the same, system our controller doesn't need to change to change the injection time according to the difference between those values.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Or after some mileage during the service maintenance,
yes,
you also always check the operational pressure here and the one that's real in the system, and they have to be similar to each other, very close.
Okay. So we passed out the calibration system. As you can see, from in the beginning, we had the multiplier line on value 1. Right now, after calibration, system, according to the pressure, to the diameter of the nozzles, change the multiplier, right? And starts, let's say, from 1.4 and going down to 1. You need to remember that auto calibration system is checking the information when the engine is working on idle. Okay, so we have perfect information about the mixture when the engine is on idle. We do not know what is happening during the medium load or full load of the engine, right? So this is very important to check on the road what is happening with the mixture during the driving, not only on idle, but also during the driving on the road.
Yes, exactly. In order to check if the mixture is correct, we always observe the petrol injection timings on petrol and after switching to gas. If the mixture is okay and the gas dosage is okay, the petrol injection timings will not change while switching to gas. So now I think we are okay. let's switch to petrol.
Yeah.
So you can see on the left corner, upper corner, the petrol injection timings, they are 3.2, 3.19, something like this.
Yes.
So
to be more precise during the drive, we can.
Okay, so while we switch to gas, they have to be the same while the car will work on gas. So we switch to gas, and we see that they are 100% the same.
The same.
Yes, that means that the gas dosage is correct on idle, and we can move on to the next step, take the car on the road, and check dot by dot all of type of loads of the engine.
Yes, and this is a very important thing that Maciek said, that we need to check the injection time, let's say that blue injection time,
Yes.
not green, but always blue. So blue when car is working on petrol, and blue when the car is working on gas.
Exactly.
Yes? We cannot compare blue to green.
Yes,
Green is only injection time after multiply by value that we have on multiplier, right? So blue, always blue and blue. Let's say on idle we have all the information that we need. Then, for example, we are on the road and we are on this point, right?
Let's put
RPM and the
injection time.
Okay.
So we go on the road and we keep our foot on acceleration pedal. So the petrol injection time still is the same, it's constant. Let's say we check on 6 milliseconds.
6 milliseconds.
Yes.
And then we change to gas and look what is happening.
Yeah. The petrol injection timings are longer on gas.
Yes, once again, Maciek,
Okay.
we are on petrol. We have 6 milliseconds of injection time, then switch to gas, and we have 6.6,
Yes.
right? So right now the mixture is not proper, right? It's not
Exactly.
proper. We have different mixture on petrol, and we have different mixture on gas,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
What we can also see, but because sometimes looking at those 4 injectors, it's not easy during the driving. So in that situation, you can also use the multiplier map, and we have the blue vertical line, right?
Yes, yes.
As you can see, Maciek is changing from petrol to gas, and you can easily see on that multiplier line map that blue vertical line is changing, right?
Yes.
Changes its position, right?
Yes, it goes to right while we switch to gas.
Okay,
And it has to stay in the same place.
in the same place.
Exactly.
But, Maciek, what is happening with the mixture that in this particular situation we have blue vertical line that goes to the right?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It means that petrol ECU is making the petrol injection timings longer because the mixture is too poor. We have to enrich the mixture.
Right.
That way the mixture will be correct. So we have to mark this point. While it's marked, we can.
I think we put 2 or 1.
Okay, let's try 3 times up.
Okay.
That's how we enrich the mixture. So then we switch to petrol.
In this point, because yes.
Once again.
Yes. Okay.
And we switch to gas
Switch
again.
to gas once again. Oh, it's a little bit
it's,
better, right?
It's a little bit better, but they should be exactly the same.
So once
That's
again
our
to
goal.
petrol. Okay. A little bit
Twice
higher.
up,
And once again.
and now we see that the mixture is correct. And we do this process on each dot and each load of the engine.
Of course, if you have time, you want to set the mixture on the gas exactly like on petrol. You can easily add more points on the multiple line, right?
Yes.
You can, for example, if you want, you can set the multiplier line every 1 millisecond, right? You can check what is happening with 6 milliseconds, with 7, with 8, with 9, 10, etc. right? Or if you set the proper values of the injection time of the mixture, you can easily erase the dots, right? You can mark that dot, press delete button, and then you have smaller points, the smaller amount of the points on the multiple line.
Yes.
So according to this type of settings, you need to check the injection time on petrol, then switch to the gas and check the same injection time. If you have the same value on petrol and on gas, that means the mixture is alright.
Exactly.
Yes, but if you can find out the difference, for example, like this, we have petrol and then gas.
Yeah.
Yes, the vertical line goes to the left. That means the mixture is too rich.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
And we need to put this point a little bit down. Let's say 3 times. Check again.
There is a difference.
Still,
right?
there is a difference. Once again, 3 times. And now it's okay.
It's okay.
You can also use a nice feature, which is like an automatic point marker, so you don't need to use your computer, your hands to mark the point. It will automatically go to next point where you are with your engine load and injection time. You see, they are changing automatically.
Yes. The closest point to that vertical blue line
Will be marked.
So this is the first thing that you can use when you want to adjust the system, right? The second one, when we are talking about the STAG 200 Go Fast, are lines that you can find out on the right side of the multi-per map. As you can see, we have a blue line here, right, in that place. Maybe we can delete once again maps, the petrol map and the gas map, to see the difference. Right now, we do not have any lines on the multiple line, on the multiple map, right? But what we can use right now, we can gather some points. I mean, you are driving, you are on the road, and our controller, our STAG 200 Go Fast controller, is checking what is happening when the car is working on petrol. When our ECU recognizes the injection time on the petrol, as you can see, Maciek is changing the load of the engine, and on the right side, the blue line is starting to disappear, right? We have some blue line right here. We need to wait. System is checking the injection time on petrol, and if system is recognized, you remember the point, the blue line is disappearing.
Yes, it's disappearing, and we see the green line.
Right.
So blue marks mean petrol map, green marks mean gas map.
Gas map.
And we need to first start from collecting blue marks. That means that we collected petrol map of petrol injection time connected to absolute pressure in the intake manifold. Once we collected 100% of the petrol map, we can start collecting gas map. Right now I'm nearly finished with petrol map.
Yes, it is very important because you can use this function. It's because you simulate the same conditions when the car is working on petrol and then when the car is working on gas. Okay, and as you can see, our system recognize and remember the injection time depending of the pressure on manifold, depend of the load of the engine. Then we change to gas, and then we need to do the same steps. Okay, we are driving on the gas, and system is starting to remember gathering the information about the gas map. Okay, as you can see, Maciek is doing the same thing, the same test, the same simulations, right?
It's like I'm simulating pushing the acceleration pedal in the car by this knob on my right.
And as you can see on the beginning, on the bottom of the map, we have blue line and the green line are at the same point at the same time, right? One line is on the other line. Yeah. But during the driving, during the acceleration, as you can see, our system is gathering the information about the gas injection, but what is happening right here, right now, okay, we do not have match of the line, right?
They should be very, very close to each other, very close.
Very close. In that situation, system knows the injection time on petrol and right now knows the injection time on the gas. But if the lines are not in the same place, there are no match, that means something is wrong with the mixture, right? And in that situation, we can check what is happening with the mixture. Let's say we are checking the mixture on the 7 millisecond of injection time and around 0.6 of the load of the engine, of the pressure in the manifold, absolute pressure in the manifold. As you can see, the petrol injection is 7 milliseconds, but with the same load of the engine, we have green line just close to 8 milliseconds, right? So there is a difference in injection time.
On gas, they are longer. That means that the mixture is too poor and we have to enrich the mixture.
That's right. To enrich the mixture, what we need to do?
Or using the map and doing this with our hands a few times up, or by clicking the auto match.
Yes, auto match of the lines, right?
Yes.
Of the green and the blue line. As you can see, that's just like Maciek told you. When we press the multiplayer match, okay, the system is asking, are you sure you want to match? Yes, I want to do this. Okay, and right now the system changed the multiple line. Okay, it moves the line a little bit higher, and what we have right now, we have the blue line, and once again we need to gather the green line to check if the system made the correct changes in the mixture. After collecting once again the green map, we should have the situation that green and the blue line are matched. Okay, they are at the same part of the map. And as you can see, Maciek is gathering the points, gathering the information about the injection time, and finally we have two lines matched. The blue line, the petrol line, and the green line, the gas line. Okay, they are at the same part of the multiplier map, and that means that you set properly the mixture.
And your work is done. Yes, the car can be delivered to the customer.
That's right. Okay.
Shall we switch to
right
Cubox?
Right now we want to switch to the Cubox controller because the Cubox controller is a little bit more advanced controller, and you can use other functionality that you can find in the Q generation with the plus name Cubox Plus, QNext Plus, and the QMax Plus. The basic adjustment is the same. I mean, adjustment according to the injection time. When you look at the injection time and in the blue line, and also when you use that lines, the green and the blue line on the right side of the map. Okay, Maciek is connecting the system.
Yeah, we have some information. Let's say we can see that there are some maps gathered, some settings. We don't see the...
Okay, let's go to the map. As you can see, we have some information, some adjustment that system already made. So once again, according to the injection time that you have in the Cubox on the right side, the blue is the petrol line, petrol injection time, and the green is the gas injection time. On the right side, we also have that lines that you can find out in the STAG 200 Go Fast. But right now we have controller Cubox Plus that is connected to the OBD. So right now you can use the auto adaptation mode. Let's connect to the OBD. Okay. It's PWN. Okay, right now it should connect. And as you can see on the window of auto adaptation, you have two options. You can use OBD auto adaptation mode or ESA3 auto adaptation mode. One or another.
Yeah, it's up to you to choose. The OBD is gathering information from petrol ECU. ISA3 is gathering information from the difference between petrol map and gas map.
Right. So if you have connection to the OBD, it is better to use OBD connection, OBD auto adaptation, or use the parameters from OBD, because it is more precise to adjust. You can adjust the mixture more precise according to the adjustment that we made in the Go Fast, because right now you are using information from the ECU of the car, the originally ECU of the car. Changes that ECU is making according to the mixture, our controller is taking information from the OBD of the car and is trying to do the same with the gas mixture of the gas and the air in that situation. So the first auto adaptation is OBD auto adaptation. You need to check enabled, right? And system right now is starting to adjust the system according to the OBD that you can find that is connected to the onboard diagnostic system of the car. And what is happening right now? To look at the settings, the better way, some errors, petrol error, we can erase the petrol ECU. You can look at the map correction, bank 1, or if you have two banks, bank 1 and bank 2 of the engine. And what is happening right now? System in OBD auto adaptation is looking on STFT and LTFT parameter, short-term fuel trim and long-term fuel trim.
Yeah.
According to those changes are ECU of the car is making changes in correction, right? The engine has some sensors, and depending on the information of the sensor, ECU of the car is changing the mixture.
Yes.
Okay.
It's looking on the voltage of the oxygen sensor,
so, right,
and making a trim on the fuel dosage.
Right. So we are changing to gas. The system will start to work on the gas. Okay. System is working on the gas. And what is happening right now? Once again, the car, OBD. Okay. And look what is happening. ECU of the car is changing the mixture. As you can see on the window OBD reader, ECU of the car changes the short trim parameter and the long-term trim parameters, right? Right now we have 11 and 14. Let's see, it's the window. Okay. Okay, and right now you can see that the resultant correction, resultant means STFT plus LTFT, is 27, right? So our controller is looking on the resultant of the correction, and what is happening? Our controller is changing also the mixture. Values on plus means
the mixture is too poor.
Mixture is too poor. That means ECU wants to increase the injection time. right? The ECU wants more petrol, the ECU wants more gas.
Yes, exactly.
Fuel in general. So our controller is doing the same. As you can see, automatically is changing the injection time. Why? Because ECU of the car wants to change the mixture, right? And the question is, how long our controller will be changing the mixture? Okay, because right now we have 17, 14, 17 is rising, right? The limitation of the injection time we can find out in this window. This is the LTFT max. As you can see, we have on that window 20. Yes, that means our controller allows to change the mixture up to 20, right now 25%.
On plus or on minus?
Or minus, right. So we can compare this value, 23, we have 25. Our controller will change the mixture up to 25, no more.
Yes, exactly.
No more.
But 25 plus or minus means that the mixture is not correct, not proper.
Right, right. You need to understand that this is the simulator, right? So we can simulate some static situation, not dynamic situation. Normally, when the ECU is increasing the injection time, is changing the mixture, it is a normal situation that ECU, after some injection of the gas, will try to limit the injection, right? Right now, system is checking the information. Okay, right now, with 25 milliseconds of injection time, 25 right here on the map, right? We have correction around the zero. That means with this type of injection, everything is okay. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's check one more situation. We are in the different part of the map, and right now, system is changing, made some changes, but as you can see, maybe I will limit some. Okay, what is happening right now? We have minus 156, minus 156, so the resultant correction is minus 3. Okay? Minus 3. So the system is changing the injection time. And once again, system will have the limitation around the 25%, no more, right? No more than 25%. But what is important, as you can see, we are on the border of the limitation. System change the injection according to that values. Okay, we have minus 3, we have minus 4, minus 2, right? But system stopped. Okay,
yes.
System right now is not changing the injection time. Why? On the first example, we have 25 on plus. Right now, system stops, even if we have 25% here.
Yeah, but we have a adaptation switch on threshold.
That's right. That's right.
Auto blocks auto adaptation while it's under, let's say, 5. Like here, we can change it to, let's say, 3. This is the minimum, and it means that it will automatically turn on and adopt the system when the STFT is higher than 3, on plus or on minus.
Right, right. Or you can have the limitation about 8%. That means system will change the injection time, but stops around the 8.
Yes,
because
exactly.
this is the limit that we have the threshold. Okay, minimum in engine temperature is the temperature that our system have in the engine emulation value, right? So the system is changing injection, but only if we reach the 70 degrees to Celsius degrees of the engine.
Which is good, because most of engines use rich mixture while heating up, so it doesn't make sense to turn on adaptation while the engine is not hot enough.
Right. Correction reduction, we have a value of the correction reduction. We can use correction reduction in specific ECU, especially Italian Magneti Marelli ECU, where you can find correction, not normal, let's say normal correction 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, up to 25%, but in this Manetti Marelli ECU you can find correction around 80, 90, 95, 96%. Those values are strange for our controller, Cubox or Cubox controller. So you can make the correction reduction, yes, to have the values closer to the normal one. Okay.
Yeah, decreased. While we are on adaptation, let's say auto adaptation topic, it's also always nice to mention that we can enable this option once we are 100% sure that the car is properly adjusted. Right. So after auto calibration, adjusting on idle, this whole process we do with the auto adaptation disabled. We go on the road, check it point by point, different loads of the engine. We can use OBD correction for this. When we are 100% sure that the car is correctly adjusted, we can turn on auto adaptation and the car is ready.
Right. And the last two options about the OBD, we need to mention that inverted STFT is also specific controllers, because normally when you have on OBD with STFT and LTFT values minus, that means the mixture is reached, right? But we can find out on the market controllers with inverted STFT. So in that situation means that the mixture is poor. Yeah. Okay, but it's always good to check with the lambda sensor. Okay, if the lambda sensor show values close to 1 and the correction you have on plus, that means that we have the situation with inverted STFT. And the adaptation in open loop means that when system is detecting the open loop status of the engine, the open loop, corrections STFT and LTFT are not working without conditions of open loop. So the system is checking value of the lambda sensor, right, oxygen sensor, and according to the settings of oxygen sensor, we can our controller can also adapt or set the proper mixture in the open loop situation, while the STFT and LTFT corrections are not working.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so this is the OBD. Maciek, Yaca21 asked, what is the difference between OBD and the SA3 auto adaptation? I think you mentioned about this, but according to the situation you can tell, Yaca, I will change the to
okay,
ISA.
so Yaca21, OBD adaptation is generally based on parameters that we read from petrol ECU. So oxygen sensor, voltage, STFT, LTFT, which are also based on oxygen sensor voltage. ISA3 is auto adaptation not connected to petrol ECU. Is information gathered by our controller on petrol and our controller on gas, and when we have these two maps of petrol map and gas map, our controller is trying to get them as close to each other as possible.
Right.
This is the main difference.
So, in the different words, we can say that those settings that we made with Maciek on Go Fast, ISA3 is doing, let's say, the same settings, but automatically. Yes. You do not need to change something. How it works? System, just like Maciek said, first of all, you can drive on petrol, and the system is checking the injection time when the car is driving on petrol, right? So on the B1 map, you have information about the injection time when the system is working on petrol. As you can see, I changed the RPM, I changed the load of the engine, and the system is checking the injection time on petrol, right? So you drive, and the system is checking what is happening on the petrol. After some times, when you have the 80% of the map gathered, you can change to gas, right? If you change to gas, system is doing the same on the gas, with the gas map, just like Maciek said. And as you can see, very important thing, OBD window has also changed. I mean there are no information about the STFT and LTFT correction because system is not using the information about the correction. What system needs is the status of the engine and the temperature of the engine according to the temperature. And as you can see, if we change the injection time, and that means we change the load of the engine, system is gathering the information about map, the gas map, right? So you can drive on gas and system automatically is adjusting the proper injection time on gas and on petrol. And right now what is important in ESA3? As you can see, you have also the LTFT max, so the maximum correction that can ESA3 can make, and adaptation switch on threshold the same like on OBD. So if the changes are very little small changes, 4% plus and minus, system is not changing the injection time. But in the difference between OBD and ESA3, as you can see, we have the map autocomplete and auto stop. How it works? Let's see map autocomplete. As you can see, on petrol map, on the gas map, let's say, we have information, we are driving on the gas. We are on that part of the gas. What is happening when we are on that part of the map? We do not have information about the petrol. So right now, look at the switch. System is flashing the AC ladders because system is gathering information about the petrol. It doesn't know what is happening on petrol. So what system is doing? Automatically changes to the petrol, gathering information about the injection time, and then look at once again at the injection time, return to the gas. Once again, we are in the different part. Let's say we are here. We have information what is happening. Let's say we are on gas, but we do not have information right here what is happening on petrol. So once again, look at the switch. AC is blinking.
The gas injectors are not injecting gas.
Why? Because system right now is checking what is happening on petrol. After gathering information, now we have the petrol map. System will automatically change. We do not need to do anything. System will automatically change to gas.
Yeah, exactly.
So the driver does need to do anything, even if we do not have the map, petrol map
completed. Yeah,
completed. And the last option is auto stop. Yes, auto stop is the situation that, for example, we have information about the injection time, but there are difference in the injection time according to the first map that we already gathered. Okay, so we have difference, and what is happening right now? As you can see, our ESA3 is changing the injection because there are difference in the previous map that already gathered, right? So system is checking what is happening. If the threshold is lower than 4%, we had here 2, 3, lower than 4%, as you can see on the map, we have value in grease. That means system checked the injection time on gas, on petrol. The difference between gas and petrol was lower than 4%, so system make the value on grease. That means in the future it will not change the injection time.
Exactly.
And the adaptation in open loop, the same situation that we had with the Cubox.
Yeah, and automatically you can see once you turn on adaptation in open loop, you can see that OBD window started to read the voltage from oxygen sensor number 1.
Right. If you do not have connection to OBD, remember, if you want to use auto adaptation in open loop with ESA3, is to connect the lambda sensor.
Yes,
because
exactly.
System in auto adaptation, in ESA3 auto adaptation mode, needs information about the lambda probe from OBD, if you connect to OBD, or physically from voltage, from the lambda sensor. Okay, so Maciek, I think about the adjustment.
Yeah, I think
You have all the information. Just remember that you can always ask us during our presentation, but you have also other possibilities. You can write information in the chat in the YouTube. You can check the information on our website, on our Facebook fan page, and also you can also write email to address that you have information in YouTube during our presentations. So Maciek, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Yes, see you next time. Next time, it will be surprise. Bye.